You want to hear about a seatmate from hell on a Delta flight. So this guy posts on Reddit. You got all kinds of like frequent traveler and airplane story Reddit threads going. If you can think of it, if you can think of the most obscure thing, there's probably some kind of discussion going on Reddit about it. So listen to this. Delta Airlines. Passenger wrote about his roommate, his seatmate. And this was like business class. So you only have two seats. You have two business class seats right next to each other in this particular aircraft configuration. And the passenger took to Reddit and starts telling the story about what was going on. And this was a Detroit to Phoenix flight. This was first class, actually. And we're just getting some of the details. Let me just read like a verbatim quote. Flying first class from Detroit to Phoenix, and the guy sitting next to me was a hot mess. I realized halfway through the flight that he had spilled all of his snacks. And not only did he not clean them up, he was grinding them into the carpet with his feet.
On purpose.
I mean, what else do you do?
Oh my
If you can't pick them up, you just kind of...
Well, you bend over, you pick them up. What do you think? You're going to grind them into little bits? And the carpet is going to absorb all the crumbs? You're going to make the snacks disappear by grinding it into the carpet?
Oh, gross.
What the hell?
Does he do that in his own house?
Exactly. You're sitting on your couch watching some weekend sports, and you spill pretzels and potato chips.
Just grind it in.
I'll just jam them right into the tuft of the carpet. You'll never know. That's ridiculous. So then he's got apparently all kinds of newspapers and magazines that he's brought, and they're all jammed out of the seat. Like, you know, the little pouch in front of you. It's it's like a giant flower bouquet, apparently. All the newspapers all coming out of the seat.
All right, so it doesn't sound like the seatmate from hell as much as a super slob
Yeah.
seatmate.
Wait a second. It takes another turn.
Okay, I'm expecting more.
Oh, there's more. So halfway through the flight, he starts seeing these little issues, including his AirPods have gone missing. So you have the armrest separating the two passengers, and it's a larger armrest. It's not like the little thin armrest back in coach. In first class or business class, you've got a thicker, wider armrest, which is more like a mini tray or a mini little countertop. So this guy that wrote about the passenger seatmate from hell, he had his AirPods on that little center console area. And guess what?
What?
He gets up and his AirPods are gone.
The guy shoved him up his butt.
Well, close. When he gets back to his chair, his AirPods are gone. So he thought maybe he knocked them down. Maybe they fell between the seat, whatever. He hit the Find My alarm, didn't hear anything. So I guess he did it again, and finally the alarm, and I don't have AirPods, but my kids do. But is there a feature you can find? I know there's like the find your phone, find your remote control.
Yeah, there's an alert feature where you can find your stuff. Yeah, sure.
Finally, here's the beeping coming from inside the guy's jacket pocket.
This guy's a wreck.
Exactly. The guy ripped off, and they confronts him. Hey, I think you have my AirPods in your jacket. I'm hearing the beeping coming from there. And the guy says, oh, man, I thought those were mine. But wait a minute. Then the owner of the AirPods says, but wait a minute, those are 3 generations older. How do you not know the difference?
Yeah.
My God, this guy's like stealing his stuff, making a mess of the row. No attempt to clean it up.
What if he'd put them in his ear? Would you take earbuds back from a stranger who put your earbuds in their ear? That's pretty gross,
with
right?
With all their nasty-looking, Fig Newton-looking earwax in there?
I mean, especially this guy.
We've secretly taken earwax from Jerry's ears and placed them in a Fig Newton. Let's see if anyone can tell the difference.
Oh, ick. We
You know,
eat a
it'd be
lot of
funny.
fig Newtons around our house.
Yeah,
It's
or
disgusting.
I like fig Newtons.
too.
I like them. So, take like some tines of a fork and just pull out a bunch of the filling from a fig Newton and just jam it in your ear and walk around and see if anybody says anything. And then if someone says something, you grab it and then you put it in your mouth. Oh, this is delicious.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Try it.
So anyway, that is a seat mate from freaking hell. And then, of course, you always have the idiot on an airplane that doesn't want to close the window shade. It's middle of the day. You're at 38,000 feet. The sun is like blaring in. You ever have that experience where there's like one person that
Oh, yeah.
the whole cabin has closed the shades?
Yeah, I'm that one
It's the
person.
One person doesn't want to close
Why?
the shades.
I want to
Fester.
look at the quilted patchwork of farmlands that we call Middle America.
What if
No.
you're above the clouds? Would you want to watch the quilted patchwork of like cotton balls?
You know what people say when they see someone like you with that window open? No plane etiquette. You don't travel much. You don't fly much. That's what I think. When I see someone with a window open, especially on a long flight, I'm like, this must be your first flight.
And
I was on with a girl, I told you this, coming back from Hong Kong, and everyone just gets on that flight ready to go to sleep to, not have jet lag when you get back to the United States. And this girl next to me was rolling with the window open the whole
oh,
time.
jeez.
And finally, I just said to her, do you see everyone else around here?
Yeah,
Everybody has their window up.
I was on a flight like that. One of my internationals, probably in the last year or so, and similar situation. The whole cabin, it's bright, middle of the day, sun blaring in, and then you always, in some cases, depending on where the sun is in the sky, if the sun is like sort of parallel with the airplane, you can get that glare,
Yeah.
and it'll be like this ray of light that's like hitting some passenger like in the face, like they're under a magnifying glass or something. And there's this one guy, and everyone kept asking him. I was on the left side of the plane. Then you had the center section. Then you had the right. This guy was off on the right, a little in front of me. It illuminated the cabin, but I didn't have any sunlight coming and piercing me in my retina. But they kept asking him to and he would like put it down for like. He'd pull the shade down for like 2 minutes and then push it back up. It was like nonstop the whole. And then you also have not only people sleeping, but you have people wanting to watch movies.
Yeah.
And then their screens are getting washed out because the sun is like shining in and totally bright. But now there's another story about window etiquette, about the debate. When you have a roommate or a seatmate or somebody in the cabin that just refuses. And then I think the deal was the flight attendant was asked to intervene, and then the flight attendant went over, and then the story circulating was, oh, he's a nervous flyer and needs to be able to look out.
Yeah, I'll give him something nervous to be nervous about.
On a 12-hour flight or whatever it was. It might have been, where did I go? It might have been to Indonesia or something, or maybe it was Maldives. It was a scuba trip.
It was a long trip.
It was one of my long-haul trips in the last year or two. And what a pain in the ass. The person that will not pull down the window shade. Unbelievable. Listen to this. You have an allergy, and they remove you from the plane.
Maybe the other passengers
Dude.
were allergic to that person as well.
Here.
This is interesting. Listen to this. Delta Airlines removed a flyer from her flight to Boston due to a shellfish allergy concern.
They're serving shellfish on the flight.
Listen, Ellie Brelis, a frequent flyer and Delta Rewards credit card holder, has a life-threatening shellfish allergy. And upon boarding a flight from Los Angeles to Boston Logan, a Delta medical representative removed her from the flight as shellfish was being served and cooked in first class.
How often does that happen?
What, they hand out the lobster bibs? What, were they steaming up lobsters?
Fish on a plane just doesn't sound like it.
Yeah, so Brelis is a frequent corporate traveler, carries an EpiPen wherever she goes.
Well, what's the issue then?
During the boarding of her flight to Boston, she informed the cabin crew, as usual, of her allergy. The flight attendant was immediately concerned as the first-class cabin was being served shellfish for their main meal. I'm guessing it was some shrimp dish.
Oh, I love raw oysters on a plane.
There's no
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Plain oysters are the best.
Especially in July.
Yes. Yeah, right. As somebody has their window open and it's just piercing a ray of light right at me. You know,
A recipe for death.
I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you have the menu already planned. I mean, this is for her protection. Hey, let's get you on a flight that has like a chicken and vegetarian dish coming up in an hour and a half.
So the flight attendant was immediately concerned because shellfish was being served. She brought out another flight attendant into the discussion. All of a sudden, it became this really big commotion where they said that they were concerned because they were cooking shellfish. And listen, if that's the meal and you've got a flight and you've got first class or business class passengers and you've got a shellfish-based main entree, what do? We got to throw this whole, cart of food off the airplane?
Sorry, first class, no meal.
No lunch for you, no food for you because we've got one person with a shellfish allergy.
I mean, I'm all for making accommodations to make people feel welcome, but if you're the one person, it's for her protection, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though this woman, Brelis, was not scheduled to travel in first class, the concern remained for the cabin crew, and it led to a Delta medical representative boarding the aircraft. What do they have, medical representatives just, hanging around LAX?
I bet you every major airport has somebody who can make a medical call.
Wow.
I bet you Tampa Airport has one.
Yeah, for sure.
So the representative boarding the aircraft asked Brelis to leave. So they asked her to leave the aircraft, that we're not going to inconvenience, let's say, 24 people in business class because you have a shellfish allergy, and she's like back in coach.
Okay, I don't think they positioned it like that. It was probably more along the lines of, hey, for your safety and protection, you're welcome to not board this flight.
We're going to move you to a later LAX to Boston flight where the main dish is chicken marsala.
I mean, there's got to be,
Yeah.
20 of those flights a day? I mean, you'll catch the next one.
I'm guessing it was a shrimp dish is what I'm guessing. And I guess my next question would be, what type of shrimp do you think they were serving?
Anyway, like I was
Go
saying,
through the list.
shrimp is the fruit of the sea. You can barbecue it, boil it,
Yep.
broil it, bake it, saute it.
Yep.
There's shrimp kebabs,
Yep.
shrimp creole,
Right.
shrimp gumbo,
Right.
pan fried,
Yep.
deep fried,
Yep.
stir fried.
Yep.
There's pineapple shrimp, lemon shrimp,
Right.
coconut shrimp,
Right.
pepper shrimp, shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad,
Right.
shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich. That's about it.
I can think of a couple more. Hey, what about some shrimp etouffee? What about some? Did he say shrimp gumbo?
He did say
Oh,
shrimp
he did
gumbo.
say
Yeah,
shrimp
he did
gumbo.
He did
All
say
right.
shrimp gumbo. Yes, and old Bubba Gump. He knew a thing or two about shrimp.
Oh yeah, he did. So anyway, she was rebooked on a different airline.
Good. I mean, let's be glad the flight attendant raised such a flag instead of saying,
Wow.
"Oh, don't worry about it. You're in the back of the plane. You'll never smell it," and maybe put her in some kind of jeopardy.
That's just bizarre. Did you like the video? Want more? Go ahead and click all this like, share, subscribe,